Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media.
Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today's episode takes us to the Grand Teton National Park in western Wyoming. The elevation here varies between 6,500 feet and over 8,000 feet on nearby peaks. The Signal Mountain Summit Road winds its way up to the 7,700-foot-high peak through dense stands of pine, fir, and spruce trees on the northwest side of the mountain. Visitors here are granted a panoramic view of Jackson Hole and the Grand Tetons, with their granite peaks jutting into the sky. With majestic views like this, millions of visitors flock to the park every year, mostly oblivious to the possible risks the animals here present. In this area, mule deer, elk, and moose are easily seen browsing and grazing their way through beautiful mountain meadows. Their calm presence belies the fact that bobcats, cougars, coyotes, wolves, and black bears, as well as grizzly bears, stalk the shadows, searching out their prey. The area around Yellowstone National Park and Grand Teton National Park have been ground zero in the study of grizzly bears for decades. Rangers track and study an estimated 1,000 or so bears to better understand the species and hone recommendations for people venturing into grizzly territory. They urge people to hike in groups of 3 or more and carry bear spray in an easy-to-access manner. But not all visitors here follow these guidelines, sometimes with dire consequences. On the afternoon of Sunday, May 19, 2024, a 35-year-old man, whom we'll refer to as Matt, was hiking up the Signal Mountain Summit Road to visit the scenic overlook. Based on descriptions of the overlook, the views are breathtaking, and he looked forward to enjoying it. Matt was visiting from Massachusetts and was stepping into a world as different as possible from his home state. As Matt trekked, he walked past numerous signs indicating that grizzly bears are in the area. The signs advise visitors to tread carefully and be alert for roaming bears. Certain parts of the mountain are very thick with plant life, cutting visibility to short distances in parts of the trail. Climbing up the trail was undoubtedly straining given the altitude difference, but the crisp mountain air compelled Matt to reach his goal. Hiking along the trail, he glanced up to see a small grizzly scampering up the trail in front of him. That's when he noticed in his peripheral vision an enormous brown mass rapidly approaching him from the side of the trail. Now, Matt wasn't unprepared for hiking in the park, and in bear country in general. He'd had the forethought to purchase and pack bear spray with him, and kept it secured on his backpack. He likely never imagined he would have to use it or even see a grizzly bear, but today's events would change his life, and not necessarily in a good way. According to sources, it isn't clear if the grizzly knocked Matt to the ground or he dropped face first to protect himself, but as he lay on the ground, the grizzly bit and tore at him ferociously. He had managed to take his bear spray into his hand before covering his head to protect himself, but couldn't dispense it before being attacked. As Matt laid still, feigning death, the bear bit him all over his body. During her frenzied attack, the sow somehow bit into Matt's bear spray canister, causing it to release its contents into the bear's face. The fog of repellent sprayed into her nose, mouth, and eyes from close range, yielding a hyperdose of the irritant in the perfect spot for maximum effect. Immediately affected by the bear spray, the sow undoubtedly gagged and coughed as her mucosal membranes burned in reaction to the spray. She turned and bolted back into the brush after rounding up her cub. Now uncertain of the bear's location, Matt remained on his stomach, waiting for the next painful bite, but it never came. Once he realized the bear had fled, Matt somehow managed to reach out for assistance. Authorities were notified of his attack, and Grand Teton National Park rangers, as well as Teton County Search and Rescue, responded to the attack location. After arriving at the attack site, they treated his injuries as best they could, and prepared him for transportation via the medical helicopter that was en route. The rugged terrain made Matt's rescue difficult, but the helicopter was able to transport him off Signal Mountain. An ambulance waited near a road junction at the base of the mountain and rushed him to St. John's Hospital in Jackson Hole. After initial treatment, Matt's condition was stabilized. Despite serious injuries, after further medical treatment, he is expected to make a full recovery. Park rangers and biologists initiated an investigation into the nature and cause of Matt's grizzly bear attack. Given that the smaller bear was sighted just before he was attacked, they concluded that Matt's attack was a case of a sow defending her cub from a potential threat. Since the cub had not participated in the attack, they deemed it a defensive attack and decided no action would be taken against the grizzly or her cub. For those of you who may have heard the scuttlebutt that the sow that attacked Matt was Bear 399, known as the Queen of the Tetons, she was found to be 6 or 7 miles away and was not involved in this attack. Following Matt's attack, the road and trail leading to Signal Mountain and its overlook were all closed to visitors to allow the bears to calm down and leave the area. Of the several hundred bears tracked and observed in the greater Yellowstone area, the bears involved in Matt's attack had never been observed by researchers. In Grand Teton National Park, only 6 bear attacks have been recorded since 1994, and none of these attacks were fatal. Researchers estimate that there are around 200 grizzlies roaming the park, and their population is stable. After reviewing the facts surrounding this episode, I'm left with a few questions for you. Would Matt's injuries have been more severe or fatal had the sow not bitten into his bear spray canister? Would a firearm have made any difference in the outcome of this attack? With only 200 grizzlies in the park, would you have expected to run into one? Was this attack a simple case of a sow defending her cub, or was this a predatory attack? What lessons will you take away from this grizzly bear attack? I will gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so please post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it.
Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.